Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Video Games back with another really cool arcade game, or in this case a pinball machine. This is Bally's 1986 Motor Dome. Pretty interesting pinball machine. So we figured, why not shoot a video? Every time we get one, like a game done that's kind of interesting, we'll shoot a video of it. So this came out in 1986. If you don't know about the pinball industry, in '86 it was kind of hurting, and Bally was doing what they could to cut costs. So this game, and a lot of the games that came out in the mid '80s, they kind of tried to make things cheaper to make. You know, they didn't know which way the industry was going. So this is kind of in that era. You kind of need to keep that in mind when you look at it, when you play it. It's a fun game. I like it. It's not considered one of the greatest games ever, but it's interesting. Most pinball machines are a little different than the one next to it, you know, so this is certainly, it has its own little spot. If you've never played one, it's kind of cool. It's got a couple little interesting things. So this cabinet, the generic side art on the game that just says Bally Midway, that's kind of one of the ways they were cutting costs. If they just made these, instead of making high quality cabinets, they were all kind of particle board. They even have a little bit of T-molding on the front of them like the arcade games did. And so they just, instead of making different art for each cabinet, they were just making generic art that they could put on every cabinet. Those are just stickers, basically. I think the way they did it was they silk screened it on the, they put the vinyl on the wood first, and then they silk screened it right on the vinyl as it was on the wood already. But they weren't the only ones. This is a Gottlieb Genesis that I think also came out in '86. May have been 80, let's see. Yeah, '86. So these came out the same year. So Gottlieb, you know, which Premier had bought by that time, was her, I don't know if Premier bought them or if that was just the name that they were going by, but Gottlieb was doing the same thing, just generic art on the side, because it was a cost-cutting move. So this is one of those cabinets. They call this Bally's 6803 system that they used on a lot of those games, which was the 6803 is the processor that's on the main game board in the back, which resides about right there. This game gets a lot of crap for two things. One, it's sound, and two, it's art. I think the art's really nice. I think they did a good job on the art. You got to remember, it was 1986, and the theme that they were going with was Motor Dome. So it's kind of a futuristic, post-apocalyptic motorcycle game. But really, I mean, what is there to complain about with the art? Maybe you don't like that theme, but the art itself is really nice. It's got a nice full back glass, whereas the Gottlieb we were just looking at, by that time they had moved on to using just translights, which are just it's just a piece of plastic behind a piece of glass. Well, this is an actual silkscreen back glass like the older games. Of course, they had the alphanumeric displays, which could show numbers like the old ones, and letters. And they just lined up 4 at the bottom. But the artwork on the back glass I really like. It looks cool. Lights up really good at night. And then on the play field, we'll get a look at that. You've got this biker guy, and you're basically, I believe that's supposed to be like he's coming towards you on a motorcycle, you know. So this would be the gas tank. These big inserts here light up. You've got 4 flippers. You got 2 regular flippers down here. Got a little flipper over here in the sweet spot. A lot of flippers are always there. That can make that little loop over there. Whoop. You've got 3 pop bumpers. You've got 3 lanes up top, each with a light RPM. You've got this weird little target here in the middle. This one's kind of strange. I don't know really what they were trying to do with this, but the ball rolls under there and it hits the bottom of that target, and when it does, it plays this sound effect of somebody screaming, and it just goes, ah! But all it does is just wobble it a little bit. There's a little spring on the left there that holds it, and then on the right there's a switch so it can tell that you hit it. So when you hit it, it connects the switch and it makes the sound effect, and of course you get the points. but it looks like it's a spinner or something, but all it does is just wobble back and forth. But in reality, there is a spinner over here, and in reality, you know, all a spinner does is just flip upside down, you know. So I guess it's just a different way of making a spinner that doesn't completely spin. So I don't know, maybe it's just, maybe they would call that a wobbler. I don't know what that would be. I just noticed it can kind of hit the ramp. Okay, and so you've got gates all over the place too. You've got this little gate over here so it can tell if the ball goes up that way. You've got a little gate over here so it can tell if you make the ramp shot. There's one big ramp on it. It's got a little drop target in front of the ramp so that you can knock it down and then make the shot. But if you play it enough, you'll notice that the ball can actually go around the drop target and up the ramp. So if you make that ramp shot, it goes up and around and to this little play field over here. You can see the shot goes, you can see that's your shot. So it goes up and around and up to this little play field. And it doesn't do anything on a play field, it just comes through. There's no switches or anything. It just comes through and then you've got one shot. That left flipper there is tied into this left flipper. So you just hit the button and you've got control of that flipper. And so what you're trying to do is make a shot all the way across the play field on that plastic ramp up into that target, that saucer up there. So it's just one shot. So if you make that ramp, the ball is going to fly around and you just try to time it and hit it. Bam! And knock it up there. If you make it, you get 1 million, 2 million, or 3 million points, which is pretty good, really, on this game. This game only has 7 digits on the displays, so you can only get, the highest your score can be is 9,999,999, and then it rolls over. So, you know, 1 million points is pretty decent. 3 million points is really decent. Well, the reason that you might get 3 million points is because it has this special little skill level that you can select at the beginning of the game, but we'll talk about that here in a second. So basically, that's just one shot. Like if you make that ramp, you've got one shot. You just, bam, try to make that skill shot, they call it, you know. So you can see that the whole top of the playfield is dominated by this huge ramp that goes over everything. Okay, so let's say you make the shot. You'll get all your points, it'll play some sound effects. And then that saucer there, you can see how it's aimed, will kick the ball out this way, and it'll dribble down through there and just fall off the ramp. They've got a little bit of mylar on the playfield there. You can see the light hitting it, so that the ball doesn't tear up the playfield when it falls down onto the playfield, right in front of that flipper. And then if you miss the shot, so let's say you hit it and it goes up here, well, it'll fall back down, hit that gate, and then roll off this way. So this side comes all the way down to here and feeds the right flipper. So they actually have metal on the playfield where that ball falls. And then if the shot goes through and you just completely miss it and don't hit it with the flipper, well, it'll probably fall down this way and fall off in front of the left flipper. So basically, if you make that shot, I don't know how well you can see it because it's clear. If you make that shot, you get a bunch of points. If you miss the shot, the ball just falls back down to the bottom of the playfield, and that's the only thing you can do. So they put in all of those ramps, all that plastic, probably at great expense, just for one shot, which is kind of strange. You'd think they'd build it up more. They would act like, oh, you know, this is a game with one amazing shot, but they don't. They didn't really promote it, I don't think, whenever they were making the flyer and everything. So anyway, whenever you start the game, it says on the back glass to select your skill level. The way you do it is you hit the right flipper button. So it starts off on single. If you hit the right flipper button, again, it makes it double. If you hit the right flipper button again, it makes it triple, of course. And so on all of the instructions, you've actually got 3 different skill levels. So if you're on skill level 1, all the playfield values are single. Skill level 2, they're all doubled. Skill level 3, they're all tripled. On skill level 1, if you get the Thunderbolt targets, which are these, you get 25,000 points. But if you selected skill level 2, you get an extra ball, and if you selected skill level 3, you get a special, which could be a free game. The difficulty on skill level 1 is easy, skill level 2 is medium, skill level 3 is hard. In the player mode, skill level 1, if you play that, you're a gearhead. If you play skill level 2, you're a cruiser, which is better than a gearhead. But if you play on skill level 3, look, it says it right here, folks. player mode makes you a dome master. So just so you know. We'll read the instructions. Each player selects a skill level before shooting their first ball. Flipper button selects skill level. Ball over shooter lane switch within time limits stops the rider lights. I'll have to look into that. Shooter lane switch within time limits. So they're talking about that switch right there. Whenever you shoot the ball, it rolls over that. Stop the rider lights on the blue visor to collect bonus. Oh, okay, so it's a skill shot. So basically these are lighting up, and if his blue visor is lit up, when you roll over that switch, you get a bonus. Turbo saucer spots and collects million when qualified. Turbo saucer. I believe that's that. But I don't know. Well, no, that says it. That must be it up there. Turbo boosting station. And your tilt penalty is the ball in play. So if you tilt the game, you just lose your ball. You don't lose the whole game. So there it is. It's got a really cool light package. Lots of twinkling. The way that, remember they were cutting costs with the 6803 stuff. So the way they made the lights work was really interesting. They did them in phases. They used AC power, and so, AC goes above and below. It's up, down, up, down, up, down. They had a way somehow to make one transistor controlled two different lights, because depending on if the AC was up or down, if it was up and the transistor turned on, it made this light light up. If it was down in that phase and the transistor turned on, it made this light turn on. So just really creative, really brilliant way to do it, because that way you can use half as many transistors, right? So save some more money. But I think all the companies were going through that for a while, where they were just trying to figure out how to make these a little less expensive, to where they could still sell them for the same price and make a little more money, or because they were selling a lot less of them. So I think this game, they sold about 2,000 copies of it, and you still see them around from time to time. Whenever we got it, it had a lot of issues, but we went through it like we always do. Worked on everything. Took the playfoot all the way apart, put it all the way back together, cleaned everything, placed all the bulbs, worked on anything that was broken. So I will get the tripod. We'll wait till it gets a little darker out so that we can get it nice and dark so you can see it lit up in all its glory. And I'll get the tripod and we'll shoot a little video of it. Be right back. All right, folks, as usual, standard disclaimer, I'm not a very good pinball player. And here's the thing with Bally's Motor Dome. The sound, let's just say it's an acquired taste. There's 4 different settings. One setting is chimes. So you can set it up where whenever you hit the things, it just goes boom, 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 like the old games. Or you can do chimes with background sounds. Or you can do the third setting, digital sounds with no background sounds. So the digital sounds are like people screaming. It's kind of got space type of sounds. And then the fourth setting is the full Monty. I mean, this is the one we had to do. Right? It's digital sounds with background sounds. The background sounds are basically a combination of like a digital synthesizer playing a really weird remember this is 1986, a 1986 kind of digital thing, and a motorcycle revving constantly. So we messed around with it a little bit, and that's actually the best sounding, but don't expect much. So basically I'm going to try to make that big shot a bunch of times, but I'm not that good at it, so we'll see. Oh, missed. Ow. I've got a loose pop bumper cap up there too, but it'll be all right. Oh, man. One more time. I got it. Remember, the skill shot is you try to make it over that switch while his visor's lit up. Kind of hard to do, though. Got it again. Ah. Ah, come on, come on. Oh, and I forgot to select my skill level. I'm still on level 1. We'll try the other ones. Cool spinner. So it opened my right gate. It says you cannot get away, speed bonus. I'd like to get it up that ramp a little more. It's doing the match now. I did not match. It's got nice lights. There's not many flashers on this, and they're kind of a weird flasher anyway, but there's flashers under the red, flashers under the blue, flashers in the middle that's blue, and then flashers way back in the back where it says Turbo Booster Station. Like what you're seeing right now. Wait a minute, I'm going to do the skill thing. Oh! Too late. Missed. Nope. Did not match. Let's try it again. Nope, a little late. I want to get a little better at hitting that ramp. Saved it. Cool. The gate was open. I'm gonna drop target. Ramp is wide open, folks. Come on. I don't know if you can backhand it with the right flipper or not. I was cheated. says free ball at 2 million. Oh man. Free ball at 2 million, it says. I'm at 300,000. Man, the drop target's back up. Come on now. I don't think you can backhand it up at, well, maybe, because I just did. I just hit the drop target backhanded. But when you use the right flipper, of course, the upper right flipper engages, which makes it in the way of the shot. So I think I kind of have to do it with that left flipper. That's such a simple shot. Anybody who was decent could make it over and over again, but I'm left to my own devices here. We'll try it again. And then if you make the shot, you still have to make the other shot. Nope. Target out of the way. There we go. Here we go. Oh yeah, it's gonna be slow. I might make it. Oh, I missed. Oh, come on. I was robbed. By the way, in case you're wondering, I'm not one of those people who will cheat by taking the glass off and just doing it by hand. That's cheating, folks. What are the children supposed to think if they see you doing that? Oh. All right, this time I want to change the skill level because I'm thinking about it, so I should be able to remember it. Hey, I matched. Cool. So if you don't know about a match, it gives a little number at the top, and if it matches what the last two digits of your score, you win a free game. But it's on free play. So, all right, so we're going to select the level. The way you do it is you hit the right flipper, and this 1 will change to 2 or 3. So 1, 2, 3. And I got the skill shot too. Cool. So now if I make that shot, I get 3 million points. I think you have to light up million first before it'll do that. My score is a lot higher already, so I guess everything's tripled. horrible. I'm gonna try one more time on that third skill level. Hey, I matched again. All right. Horrible. Even more horrible. All right, well, that's it, folks. We'd be here all night if I was trying for that shot again. I just figured we'd make a little video showing you how it plays, just so you get an idea. Bally's Motor Dome, 1986. I think I like the back glass the best. The back glass looks really cool. If I can get around there. There we go. So, by the time you see this video, Mr. Motor Dome may have already motored on away to its new house. But maybe we'll have something else you're interested in. If you want, you can see all of the arcade games that we have available at this moment, whenever you're watching this video, on our website at lionsarcade.com. And you can also stop by and see all of the games in person. We're in downtown Rock Hill, South Carolina, which is about 15 minutes south of Charlotte, North Carolina. And we've got probably 50 games on hand at all times. Pinball machines, arcade games, even a few jukeboxes. If it's coin operated, we like tinkering with it, like this one, and getting it back up and running. Or if not, if you're not looking for a game, or you're not in this area, let's say you're in France. Well, if you're watching this video, subscribe to us here on YouTube, and we'll be putting up many, many more videos. Every time we get something interesting like this in, we'll shoot a little video of it and just show you guys what the game was like and what it's like right now. So we'll see you next time.